Hello, Bob Oman here, November 26th, 2013, as the year is winding up. And I'm in my home office over here in Lauderdale by the Sea, Florida, which is part of the kind of the Pompano Beach area. It's the seacoast part of it. Okay, and I'm really enjoying it here. So if you don't recognize the background, it's my new home office. Anyway, and this is a fairly new residence for me. Now, today I am going to talk about, we're going to talk about the law of attraction and how that works. So, Napoleon Hill may have coined the term. I'm not sure exactly who had actually coined this term. I know that certainly it was very, very popularized in the book, in the Donna Byrne book that was called The Secret. That was very popular a number of years ago. And, of course, speaking of Napoleon Hill, we'll mention Think and Grow Rich, and I think I saw the term there, but certainly it's a very, very important term. And what is the law of attraction? And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Basically what the law of attraction says is whatever you resonate on or think about or vibrate on or however you want, whatever your kind of the vibrations that you are putting out, that similar vibrations or similar thoughts or similar desires or similar things will to matching ones will come back. So if we think of the mind or the brain, but I prefer to call this in this case the mind. If we consider our mind as a powerful transmitter in a sense, which many people do, going back to Thomas Edison, working with various radio transmissions. It's been in many ways has been proven that the mind can function as almost like a transmitter. Well, therefore, if that's the case, thoughts that are released from the mind that are put out into the universe, let's say, would attract like-minded thoughts and then come back to you. Okay, so that's why when Henry Ford said, whatever you think about, I mean, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way you're right. That was his famous quote. Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and can get itself to believe, it can achieve. And Earl Nightingale said, you become what you think about most of the time, which I think he enunciated in a famous audio, which is available, by the way, on YouTube, called The Strangest Secret. Interesting, similar name to the book, The Secret. Okay, so, all these, it was certainly popularized by Donna Byrne with the book, The Secret. I have been aware of this for many years, but really focused and studying it a little over 2 years ago when I started really applying it a lot more. That's when I had joined the Global Information Network, joined GIN, and then eventually got involved in the Empower Network as well, and where it was further emphasized. So I have seen this active in my life. And I've seen myself, many times if we're involved in utilizing the law of attraction. And it's kind of the interesting thing about it is that whether we're aware of it or not, it works. It's a law. So it works whether you're aware of it or not. If you're aware of it, it works better because then you're aware of it, you can make it work better. Okay, but there are some people very naturally that, phenomenal musicians, phenomenal sports athletes, phenomenal, golfers, and then obviously fits on the category of athletes. But, if you asked one of many of these phenomenal musicians, actors, actresses, many times you can ask these people, well, how did you become a great musician? Well, they might say, well, how did you become a great football player? Hey, they might say something like, that's really all I ever wanted to do. And from the time they were little, that's all they thought about. That's all they wanted to do. That's all they focused on. That's all they practiced. They put a lot of time in as well. So they manifested their abilities, their skills, and of course now that doesn't mean they weren't born with some inclinations to that, and obviously there is a certain level of where people are gifted as we are born with various talents and skills, but that doesn't mean that if we don't have a particular skill that we can't master that and acquire that as well. And again, so bottom line is what we think about most of the time is what we draw to us, and I have seen in the last 2 years in utilizing this in my own life. I mean, I'm absolutely convinced that I manifest the things that are going on in my life. Everything that I want is coming into my life. And don't think that I only want things like for Bob, like, hey, what can make me happy? Part of what makes me happy is making you happy. When I can help you, when I can teach you, I mean, that's an important part of my manifestations. So I enjoy passing my information along and helping you as well. And that's part of the reason I do these. I just enjoy. Some people say, gee, Bob, you still working? They'll ask me things like that because I'm 65. I guess some people at 65 don't work. I'm working. But mine is, I don't call it work. I call it fun. I don't know that I'd rather be doing anything else but talking to you right now doing this. I'm having fun doing this. I enjoy sharing my ideas. This is my work. I've manifested being able to do what I like to do and turn that into turned it into my business, which is getting better and better all the time. So I'm not only I'm able to live the lifestyle I choose, whatever I want to do. Basically, it's improving all the time. I've got a very good income already, and I'm doing what I want to do. And I don't know, it just doesn't get better than that. I'm doing what I like to do. This is fun, and I like sharing. So that's part of what I enjoy doing. I like helping people. I enjoy helping people. So sure, do I enjoy taking the cruises, doing what I want, traveling, living on the ocean, whatever I want to do. Do I enjoy? I enjoy the things, eating real healthy food and not having to worry so much about can I afford to buy healthy organic food? Well, I look at it, can I afford not to? I mean, in terms of what's in the normal stuff. But that's a topic for another day. Today we're talking about the law of attraction. So basically, when we want to manifest something in our lives, we simply have to focus. And the first thing we'll notice when we focus on what it is that we want, we can start out by writing things down. It might pay to get what Napoleon Hill calls a major definite purpose. So writing something down. I like to say, hey, get a pad of paper out and think of everything you'd want to do if money was no object. That's a great way to start. Then assign some numbers of importance and believability, and you'll end up figuring the 2 or 3 things that hit the top of the list that that you can achieve and that you feel. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to be able to. You've got to have the belief in your heart and your soul. Might have to start with something a little smaller sometimes. We have to start with whatever we believe we can do. But once we see, the way it works is the first thing that comes in is similar thoughts. Similar things start matching. Again, law of attraction. We get matches. So, like for instance, if we thought, let's say I wanted to have a fancy sports car, yellow sports car, Maserati. I could be thinking yellow sports car, Maserati, and the best thing is to get an exact, maybe even visit a dealer, get an exact image. The first thing I'm going to start noticing is much more. The first thing I'll see more of them around. You could say, well, maybe you're just noticing more of them. Maybe they're around all the time, but I actually believe that I'm manifesting more of them. That's part of the process. That suddenly there are more around because that's what I am manifesting. And eventually one of them is going to somehow pop into my life. One way or another, the universe will move things, it's like mountains will move to make your manifestations occur. Does that mean I don't have to do anything physically? Of course not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you just sit there, and meditate and manifest, and everything's going to happen. No, what I am saying is that'll start the wheels turning. That'll start everything going. You'll see more things, more opportunities. Suddenly, certain things, little opportunities, because things start changing, and everything that happens will put you closer towards your desire. So, I think that we'll leave it at that for today. I would highly recommend those books I mentioned: Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, The Secret, Donna Byrne. Great books. Anything by Earl Nightingale. You should check out the famous audio, The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. That's on YouTube. And with that said, I'm going to wish you a great, great day. Bob from Lauderdale by the Sea in Florida. Have a great, great day. Take care. Catch you next time around.